Now, before I start any hypnosis in this recording, I want to be very clear about the purpose of this recording. This recording is designed to help the listener remain faithful when they are in a functional, monogamous relationship. Now, if you're in a relationship that's non-monogamous, and all parties are aware of this, this recording might not be for you. Because, again, this recording is designed for people who are struggling with the issue of remaining faithful in a monogamous relationship. Also, this recording is not designed for people who are in non-functional relationships. It's always okay for a relationship to end if it truly is not healthy or functional for one or both parties. It's never a failure or a sign of being unfaithful if a relationship does have to end. So, with that being said, as long as you are not in a poly relationship of any sort, and as long as you feel that there are aspects of your relationship that are functional, and that this relationship is something that you'd like to continue with, please feel free to listen to the rest of this recording. And if you need a moment to get nice and comfortable, just relax and pause the recording if you need a little extra time, because in a few seconds, I'm going to start. All right, I'm ready to begin, so I just want you to focus on my voice and let go of everything. It's okay to relax and drift right now, because I am going to, with your permission, help you accept positive and powerful hypnotic suggestions. And to do that, I'm going to hypnotize you. I'm going to guide you deep into trance to a place where it's safe to explore your feelings and desires. And after exploring them for a bit, if you want to change them, you may. This recording is not going to force you to change any of your core beliefs. All it's merely going to do is help explore how you truly feel, and hopefully it's going to help you be a more faithful person in your relationships. Because it's not just you being faithful to other people, it's you being faithful to yourself. It's you being faithful to your word. Because relationships are not a game that you can just play unless you're all in. And when you're all in, it can sometimes be an emotionally vulnerable position. However, hypnosis is a great tool to use to explore these emotionally vulnerable states. Because right now, you're listening to a recording of my voice. There's no judgment. There's no real interaction. There's just an intention behind my words. And my intention is to allow you to feel safe and calm, to let you drift deep down deep and explore your own thoughts and feelings about being more faithful in a relationship. In fact, I have no way of telling whether or not you're completely open and honest with me, or how faithful you may or may not be in a relationship. You may actually be more faithful in your relationships than even me. There's really no way for me to tell, so there's no way for me to be capable of judging you in any way, shape, or form. I want you to know this before you open yourself up emotionally for this short period of time. Also, before you drift deep into trance, please know that if at any time you feel as if your emotions are growing too strong, or if they're becoming a little overwhelming, you can easily and effortlessly wake yourself up from trance and listen to this recording at a different time, because you're never forced to go deep into hypnosis, and you're never forced to open up. Now, focus on your breathing in and out, slowly and deeply. And I know that if you're already familiar with my voice and my style of hypnosis, you might already be feeling really, really nice and relaxed, ready to close those heavy, heavy eyelids. However, if this is your first time listening, you can just relax and follow along. Now, when you breathe in, I want you to open those eyes and keep them open. And then when you breathe out, I want you to close those eyes and keep them closed, opening and closing them as you breathe in and out, slowly and deeply. And as you do this, I want you to do one extra thing. I want you to very slowly breathe in, counting up from 1 to 4. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your eyes are open now, and hold that breath for another 4 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Closing those eyes completely and holding on to this tranquil emptiness. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now breathing in again, opening those eyes, counting up in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doing it automatically, because a lot of your focus will have to be dedicated to keeping up this pattern of breathing. So, since you're focusing so intently on this pattern of breathing, my voice and my words can slip easily and effortlessly into your mind. You can accept them fully and completely, because it's so easy to just always close those eyes and drift deeply. Eventually, maybe, just maybe, those eyelids of yours will become so very heavy that they're impossible to open any longer, and you can drift off into a deep, meditative state of mind, a place where you're open to inner reflection and growth. I want to lead you there, and it's up to you if you want to follow. You're never forced to be hypnotized, and you're never forced to make changes in your life. All I'm doing is helping to illuminate a pathway to change. Now, as you follow along with that breathing, imagine that you are walking down a pathway to change, because every single day, whether you want to or not, you are actually walking down a pathway to change. The passage of time is the pathway to change. However, we have an amazing device in our mind, our imagination, that will help us imagine the future and shape our current behaviors to be the most beneficial. Right now, maybe as you drift, opening and closing those eyes, or maybe just closing those eyes, drifting deep into sleep, imagine your current relationship and imagine it stretching out into the future. It can be a few days, a few weeks, or even years. Imagine that. Imagine it fully and openly, not trying to avoid any details, but instead safely and clearly looking at what you think the future holds and reflecting fully and completely upon your current actions. As you do this, you can continue to breathe in and out, slowly and deeply, counting up from 1 to 4. Or you can just close those eyes and let them lock shut and stay locked shut, drifting down deeper and deeper into hypnosis, drifting down deeper and deeper into sleep. The choice is yours. Whatever helps you, relax and drift deeply. Because when you're deeply hypnotized, imagining the future becomes easy and effortless. Now I want you to imagine how your future will feel based upon your current actions, based upon how faithful you are in your current relationship. Imagine fully and honestly the trajectory of your relationship. Don't try to sugarcoat it, because right now, even if things don't look the best, this is a safe place. Remember, I am just a recording. Right here, right now, you're safe to fully and completely explore this imaginary relationship. And as you explore the trajectory of this relationship, imagine how happy you are in the future based upon your actions in the present. What I want to do is help you truly and completely maximize your own happiness. This isn't about you versus somebody else, or even you versus the expectations of society. It's really about you being faithful to yourself, being faithful to your own word, being truly faithful to your own pursuit of happiness. Because sometimes when we're not faithful fully and completely, it can be for many reasons. Sometimes the current relationship that we're in needs to change, and it can be difficult to bring up changes to a partner. Sometimes it may feel easier to try to get attention from other people and other sources that might not be the most appropriate. It's kind of like skipping a meal of healthy food so you can just quickly fulfill your needs with a bag of junk food. In the short term, it might make you feel better, but really, in the long term, if you keep on doing this year after year, you're just making yourself unhappy. it's okay to be open and vulnerable with your partner. It's okay to make difficult choices with your partner and to tell them about changes that you want in the relationship. All of these things are healthy and shockingly common in long-term relationships. A long-term relationship is something that always changes and adapts, and those changes can sometimes be a little uncomfortable, but overall, the relationship grows stronger year after year. Avoiding the difficult discussions and choices that are common and natural in a long-term relationship for the attention of others outside of that relationship is not a very optimal long-term solution. It's understandable sometimes in the moment, but you know deep down deep that it's like skipping a healthy meal for junk food. It's not something you can keep on doing. Also, unfortunately, it's not something that's helpful to even people who aren't your partner. You may think the exchange of attention and even affection with other people might make them feel better. However, it can have unintended consequences. It can make that other person feel confused about their true relationship with you. Because really, you're not engaging in a relationship. You're seeking attention. And seeking improper attention from others doesn't do them any services and doesn't do you any services. Instead, with your eyes closed, imagine a future version of yourself who can calmly and confidently communicate all the aspects of a relationship that they want to their long-term partner. Maybe imagine this as a goal to work towards. Maybe, just maybe, today you're taking the first step towards making this version of yourself a reality. Because right now, deep down deep in trance, you can imagine this future version of yourself. Maybe you can imagine walking closer and closer to them. Maybe thinking about each step as a passage of some amount of time. And you might be surprised by how few steps it really takes to reach this version of yourself. You might be surprised that this version of yourself is quite a bit closer to you in the present day than you ever thought possible. I want you to approach this version of yourself not only in trance, but out of trance. Try to open yourself up to communication. Try to very clearly state what you want, because your goals and your needs are very important, just as important as your partner's goals and needs. And I want you to think about how they can intertwine and become stronger together, sharing what you want and what you need with your partner makes your goals easier to achieve and makes your partnership with them even stronger. There may be some conflict, and that's natural. But just because there's conflict doesn't mean that this process should be avoided. This process is like the strengthening of steel. Any conflict that happens will only make the end product stronger once you've resolved it. Drifting, knowing deep down deep that a relationship is a game that you can only play if you're all in. Doing it any other way is basically saying that you're okay with losing. I don't think you're okay with losing. I think you really want to truly be open and honest. I think deep down deep, you want to express the same feelings you have in trance, out of trance. There's no rush, though, to express these feelings. When you know that it's the right time to express these feelings, you can and you will. The decision to express these feelings belong to you. Nobody can pressure you. Nobody can force you. It's your choice. It's always your choice. And you can use this insight that you felt in trance to become the more ideal version of yourself. You see the pathway of time, you see the trajectory that you're on, and you see the trajectory you want to take. You also see the differences between these two paths. Knowledge is power, and you can use this power to make the changes that you want. It's not all about your partner. It's not all about you. It's about what you both want. And you can take both of your wants and goals and twist them together, braiding them into a form stronger than either of you individually, knowing that this requires sharing, open to sharing, open to being emotionally vulnerable. When you're ready, you get to choose the time when you express these feelings, knowing deep down deep that this is a process that will become stronger and stronger year after year. You won't rely on a momentary spark of passion to energize your commitment to your relationship. You will use this vision of long-lasting and profound happiness as your inspiration towards being more fully committed to your relationship. Because around you, if you look, you can see examples of people who have committed themselves fully and completely to their partner. And you can see the happiness that they reap from that commitment. It's not just something you have to imagine any longer. It's something that's easy to commit to because deep down deep, you want yourself to be happy, but you want yourself to have real, healthy happiness, not just the comfort of a fleeting moment of attention from an inappropriate source. It's okay if in the past you have experienced this attention. It's okay if in the past you've even enjoyed this attention. The main thing that's important to remember is that using this attention in the long term will lead to an unhealthy emotional state. It's like eating junk food every single day, using it once or twice, snacking on something unhealthy once or twice won't have immediate effects on your body, but doing it year after year will. And you understand this. It's not something that's difficult to understand. The only issue is that emotionally, it means you have to give up a source of instant gratification. And that's not easy. But it is necessary for long-term happiness. I want you to be the happiest version of yourself possible. I want you to follow the pathway that you envisioned so very clearly in your mind to the optimal version of yourself. And the way to that sort of happiness is by fully committing yourself, by going all in, fully and completely, knowing that you can be emotionally open with your partner and that you can use your partner as a more meaningful source of emotional attention, and that you won't have to rely on trying to get that sort of emotional attention from fleeting sources or inappropriate sources. All you'll have to do is work with your partner, and you'll have access to a near unlimited source of happiness. Every single day, you're taking a step down a path. You get to choose which path you take a step down. Every single day, you get to choose. Every single day, you have the knowledge and power to choose happiness. I want you to choose happiness. Not for me, not for your partner, but for you. Because a relationship is a game that you go all in on to win. And I hope that this recording will help you feel a little bit more courageous going all in. Now in a moment, I'm going to be counting from 1 to 5, and when I reach 5, you'll wake up completely and totally. You'll go all in on regaining consciousness, feeling refreshed and rejuvenated, awake and alert. And hopefully, you'll wake up feeling a little bit better about yourself. 1. Slowly drifting towards wakefulness. 2. More and more. 3. Slowly becoming aware of your surroundings. 4. Almost there. And 5. Wake up and open those eyes, feeling refreshed and rejuvenated, awake and alert, and emotionally ready to go all in on your relationship.